In the earlier session, we discussed about the properties of integer under addition and under multiplication. Now we are discussing under subtraction. The first one, you know that the first property is the closure property. In your earlier classes, you already learned about the closure property, but you learned about the whole numbers. Now we are discussing about integers. So here, what the closure property says. For the closure property, we need two integers. Since we are talking about the integers, you have to take two integers. Let us take two integers here, -2 and -3. You know that these are integers, and take 2 minus 3 and take 2 plus 3. Here, if you take these integers, now check the result. If you are getting the integer, we can say that the closure property holds good under subtraction. Otherwise, you can say that it does not hold good. Now here, what is the value of -2 minus 3, which is -5. You know that if you take -3 and -2, if both are minus, you need to add. You know that minus into minus is always plus. So here, what is the value of 3 plus 2, which is 5. For the bigger number, which symbol is there, minus, keep here minus. So what will be the answer here? -5. Now calculate 2 minus 3. What is the value of 2 minus 3, which is -1. You know that how do you calculate? -3 plus 2. 3 minus 2, which is 1. For the bigger number, which symbol is there? Minus. So you got here the answer as -1. What is the value of 2 plus 3, which is 5. Now here check whether the answers are the whole integers or not. Since we are talking about the integers here, you know that -1 is an integer, right? This one is also an integer, this one is also an integer. That means here, if you consider two whole numbers, if you consider two integers, if you are subtracting these two integers, we are getting the result which is also an integer. So we can say that the closure property holds good under subtraction. So here write it, if A and B are integers, then A minus B is also an integer. This is about the closure property, what it states here. If you take any two integers, if you subtract, since we are talking about the subtraction, if you are subtracting these two integers, you have to check whether the result is also an integer or not. Since we get the result as an integer, we can say that A minus B is also an integer. From this, you can say that the closure property holds good under subtraction for integers. Now check the commutative property under subtraction. Commutative property. You know that what it states? Commutative property. If you take two integers, if you subtract those two integers, if you change the order, you have to get the same result. If you are getting the same result, we can say that the commutative property holds good under subtraction for integers, otherwise not. Now take two integers, any two integers. So let us consider 2 and -3. So what we need to get here, 2 minus 3, write it here, just you need to change the order. So you can take it here, 3 minus 2. Here, now check it whether you are getting the same answer or not. What is the value of 2 minus 3? You know that it is -1. What is the value of 3 minus 2? Which is 1. So here, you can answer that this answer and this answer is different. So here, we can say here 2 minus 3 is not equal to 3 minus 2. That means here we took the number 2 minus 3. Here what we have done here, we changed the order. In place of 2 we have written 3. In place of 3 we have written 2. After doing the calculation, you are getting the answer which is different. From this we can say here, if A and B are integers, then A minus B is not equal to B minus A. Right? If you take any two integers, then based on this example, we can write A minus B is not equal to B minus A. So from this you can say that integers. This is about the commutative property under subtraction. What it states, if you consider any two integers, if you change their order, you have to check whether the result you are getting the same or not. Since here the result is not same, we can say that the commutative property does not hold good under subtraction for integers. Now see the next property. Now we are discussing the same thing under division. Based on that we solved some exercises. Now we discuss about the subtraction, and now we are going to discuss about under division. Now again the first property, which is the closure property under what? Division. What we need to do here? Just we need to take two integers and we have to divide those two integers, and you have to check whether the answer is an integer or not. Now here take two integers, 2 and 3. Here what we need to do? We need to divide these two integers. After dividing these two integers, you have to get the answer, which is also an integer. So we can write this one as 2 by 3. Right? Here is 2 by 3 an integer? No. Because you know that what are integers? Positive numbers, 0, negative numbers, all together we call it as an integer. But here we got the fraction. So we can say that it is not an integer. That means here, if you take any two integers, you are dividing these two integers, the result is not an integer here. So we can say that the closure property does not hold good under division. Write in the form of the variables here. If a and b are integers, then a divided by b need not be an integer. From this, what we can say here, closure property does not hold good under which operation we are doing here? Division. For which numbers? Integers. This is the closure property under division. Now check for the commutative properties. What is the next property? Commutative property. What it states here? Commutative property. Just now we discussed under subtraction. What we need to do here? Just you need to take two whole numbers. Let us consider 6 and 2. Here, what we are doing? Here under division. If you divide these two numbers, and after that if you change the order, here we have done 6 divided by 2. Here we have to do 2 divided by 6. In place of 6 you need to write 2. In place of 2 you need to write 6. So here check 2 divided by 6. And after doing these two calculations, you have to get the same answer. If you are getting the same answer, we can say that the commutative property holds good under division. If not, you can say that it does not hold good under division. Now check for this one. 6 divided by 2, you can write it as 6 by 2. And what is the answer? 2 months, 2 3. The answer is 3 here. Now here 2 divided by 6, you can write it as 2 by 6. Here 2 months and here 2 3's will get cancelled. You are getting 1 by 3. Here we are getting the answer 3 and here we are getting the answer 1 by 3. Is 3 is equal to 1 by 3? No. So here from this we can say here 6 divided by 2 is not equal to 2 divided by 6. So here that means if you consider any two integers, if you are dividing these two integers by changing the order, after checking the result you are not getting the same result. From this we can conclude here write it here. If A and B are integers, then A divided by B is not equal to B divided by A. So from this what we can say here, commutative property does not hold good under which operation we are doing here, under division. For which number system? For integers. This is about the closure commutative property under division. Now see the next one, division by 0 and division by 1. Division by 0 and division by 1. So here what it states here, division by 0. Here consider two examples here. 6 divided by 0. What is the value of 6 divided by 0? And what is the value of 0 divided by 6? This one you can write it as 6 by 0. Right? Here this one you can write it as 0 by 6. What is the value of 0 by 6? You know that 0 by 6 value is always 0. Right here, if the numerator is 0, we can say that the result is always 0. But here, what is the value of 6 by 0? If the denominator is 0, we cannot find that value. So, we can see that this value is undefined. Okay. If that means here, why 6 by 0 is undefined? You will get a question. Here, if the denominator is 0, we can say that the value is undefined. Let us consider 1 by 0, which is undefined. 2 by 0, which is also undefined. 100 by 0, which is also undefined. Undefined means we cannot calculate that value. Why? We cannot calculate that value. Let us take one example. So here, consider 6 divided by 2. If you want to do this one, you can do in two ways. You know that the normal method, how do you do? You can do it as 2, 3, 6, and after doing calculation you are getting the remainder as 0. This is the one process. By successive subtraction also we can do this. How? Here 6 minus 2. What is the value of 6 minus 2? 4. And you have to do the subtraction until you are getting the remainder as 0. Again here you need to subtract 4 from 2. 4 minus 2, which is 2. Now again this 2 you need to subtract from this 2. 2 minus 2, which is 0. That means you are done once, twice and thrice. That means 3 times you have done, so that you are getting the result as 0. Because of this the answer is 3. Let us take one more example for the clear understanding. Divide 12 divided by 4. You know that 12 divided by 4 is 3. But by using the successive subtraction, let us solve this one. First we need to subtract these two values. 12 minus 4. What is the value of 12 minus 4? 8. We have to do this subtraction until you have to get the result as 0. Again, subtract 8 minus 4. What you are getting? 4. The result is not 0. Again, subtract 4 minus 4. So here, 4 minus 4. Now you are getting 0. How many times we have done here? 1, 2, 3. So the answer is 3. Like that, you can do this method. Now check for 6 divided by 0. You want to do this one, and you know that the moment I told this value is undefined. Why this value is undefined? By using the successive subtraction, 6 minus 0, you need to subtract these two values, you are getting the result as 6. And you have to follow these steps until you have to get the result as 0. Whether you are getting the result as 0 or not, let us check. Now here again subtract 6 minus 0. You are getting 6. Since the result is not 0, again you need to subtract again to 6 minus 0, which is 6. Since the result is not 0, again 6 minus 0, which is 6. From this you can see here, you will not get a 0, right? If you follow this procedure, if you follow this pattern, you will not get a 0 because always you will get 6 minus 0 which is 6. So for this reason we can say that this value is undefined since we are not getting the 0 under the successive subtraction. For that reason we can say that if the denominator is 0, we can say that that value is undefined. So here, what is the value of 7 by 0? Which is undefined. What is the value of minus 100 by 0? Which is undefined. That means if the denominator is 0, we can say that that value is undefined. Write in the form of the variables here, this one. If a is an integer, then 0 divided by a is 0 and a divided by 0 which is undefined. This is about division by 0. Now see here the last one, division by 1. This one is very easy, you already know. Division by 1. What is the value of 2 by 1? What is the value of 3 by 1? What is the value of minus 5 by 1? You know that these all values will give the result the same answer, 2 by 1 which is 2, 3 by 1 which is 3, minus 5 by 1 which is minus 5. This is about the division by 1. If you are writing by using a variable, how do you write? If a is an integer, then a divided by 1 is always equal to a. This is about the properties. Based on these properties, we are going to solve the next exercise in the next session.